Hi, guys, and welcome to another episode of the podcast. Today, I'm joined by one of my beautiful clients, and I'm so excited to have her here because we're going to be sharing her success. Well, she's going to be sharing more about her amazing success story. We've only been working together for the past 4 months and a little bit more, and it's just incredible to see how much she's changing, not just physically, but also mentally as well. I remember when we had that initial call 4 months ago, you told me that you wanted to be in a state where you wanted to maintain that body. You felt like you were not able to do that since having kids. And I know that's been a long time. You told me that you had a really good understanding about nutrition, but you were not able to put all the pieces of the puzzle together. And you just felt like you were wasting another day. And this was making you feel very frustrated because you were doing F45, you were doing your classes, but you felt like you were not getting anywhere. And you were like, I'm just wasting time. And I don't want to keep feeling like I'm wasting time. 5 months later, you're looking incredible. Like your pictures are just amazing. And not only that, but you're now maintaining what you're doing, like you're being consistent. And I know sometimes it can be frustrating because it takes time. But as we always say, like baby steps go a long way. And that's exactly what you're doing. So thank you so much, Mel, for being here and joining us today. But like tell us, like, how do you feel about yourself and your fitness journey before you joined my program?
Oh wow. That was a nice introduction. I would put myself in a category of someone who's like well educated around nutrition, food, exercise, even mental well-being. So like you said, I had all these pieces of the puzzle, but I just couldn't hold myself accountable.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and yeah, I was doing 6 F45 classes a week, my favorite place. It's
Yeah.
definitely an addiction and a cult, like everyone says. Loved it. Lots of injuries for my body, really hard on my body, really hard on my body appearance. But yeah, absolutely just a cycle of going hard out, eating the right foods, restricting myself, being really hard on myself, and then I would just fall off the wagon and slowly go back into those bad habits
Mm.
and slowly go back into just feeling really shitty.
Mm. And I think that just shows you like you have the knowledge about nutrition, you have the knowledge about training, you have the knowledge about mental health. But it just shows you like without accountability, knowledge, it's pretty much useless. You can have like all the knowledge, but if you don't have that accountability, it's much easier to try something or be too restrictive. And then a few weeks later or a few months later, go back to square one. And that's why even coach, like me as a coach, I still have a coach because I need that accountability. I think we're humans, like we
Right.
cannot be perfect every single day. We cannot be giving our 100% every single day. And that's fine, that's what makes us humans. But that just shows again, accountability, it's so important. And that's why when people tell me like, I have the knowledge, I'm like, great, I know you have the knowledge, but are you achieving your goals? Are you actually doing the things that you know you should be doing? Because it's easy to feel like, yeah, I know what I should be doing. Okay, great, but are you doing it? Because if you're not,
Absolutely.
how are you going to reach your goals? But how do you feel now, 4 months later that we've been working together? How do you feel now after this amazing journey that you're having?
Oh my gosh. My body feels great.
Mm.
I feel really I just feel really light, not a scale light, but my whole well-being feels light. So I feel like I've got energy. I don't always want to train. I think that's really normal. Today
Mm.
was a really cold day. I was a little bit out of routine. I was like, oh, I really can't be bothered. But then there's this mental well-being, mental switch that goes, just get it done. Just get it done. And you're going to feel really good doing your check-in form tomorrow morning at 8:45. You're going to feel really
Yeah.
good doing your check-in form and being able to be honest and say, yeah, I was really on track with my training. Injury-wise, I haven't had any injuries since I changed my training program up with you, since starting with you. So yeah, it was really hard. It was really hard to change those habits of getting up, going to F45, smashing my body, to slowly pull back from that and trust the process that sometimes less is better. And it was
Mhm.
really, really hard thing to change because I'd always built up the thought that high intensity, full on exercise was what was going to get me the changes. So
Mm.
that's been a big change for me, and I feel really good about it. I feel really good about what I'm putting in my body. I'm certainly not perfect. So, we all have, I think you'd be lying if, we'd all be lying if we said we're 100% on
Yeah.
eating all the time. But I certainly think a lot more about what I'm going to eat and when I'm going to eat it. Not an obsession at all. Just, I guess the biggest switch with the eating would be that I'm much smarter. So I have, through your program, I've got a better understanding of how much protein I need. It's going to keep me full. So I can actually eat more with better quality food. Yeah, it's going to sustain me. It's going to make me feel good. It's not going to make me feel guilty and therefore go into that cycle of like, oh, this is all a waste of time, which is that big, ugly cycle. Yeah, I feel really good. I guess,
Yeah.
yeah,
But
I'm just excited. Like, I'm just like, wow, I did it. This is 4 months in, and this is just what I do now. This is just what I do.
yeah, and I like how you mentioned three things. Number one, this is what I do now. Like when you don't feel like going to the gym, like today, you get it done not because you feel like I have to get it done, but it's like I want to get it done because you know it's good for you, and you feel good after you get it done. And that was our goal from day one, like making this a lifestyle. Because when we make it a lifestyle and you make it part of you, you no longer feel like I have to go to the gym or I have to prep my meals. I have to do this. Like once you remove that have to for like I really want to, that's a huge game changer. The second thing that you mentioned, and I remember, yeah, you told me you used to train 6 times a week, sorry, at 45, which obviously that's a lot of intensity for your body, a lot of pressure for your joints as well. And I remember when I told you, do you mind if I give you suggestions? Like, why don't we try reducing at 45 and then adding some of just weight training? Like, okay, let's give it a try. And you were like a little bit like 50-50, which is obviously normal because you were used to something else. And anytime we want to change something, it's a little bit challenging because we're used to this. And if you want to give me something else, like, is this really going to work? I'm used to that. And also, like, we feel, and I used to make the same mistake, like, if my body's not sore when I work out or the day after, it feels like I'm not working out. And that's why with F45, like, you feel like you're working out because you actually feel like you feel sweaty and your body's really sore and you feel like you're getting a really good pump. But is that really benefiting you? Like, is that really helping you? Like, doing that every now and then is completely fine. But I feel like overdoing anything or doing anything to the extreme, it just never works. Like, your body is going to make those changes when we're resting. And that's something that for me, yeah, it took me a lot of time to learn as well. Like, because you don't want to rest, you want to keep doing all the time. Like, you want to keep exercising because we have this idea of like the more I exercise, the better results I get. But it's not actually like that. The more you rest, the better results you want to get. And also with the nutrition you mentioned, now, you've learned to have high quality food, which is exactly what we want. Like, it's obviously good to mix in between high quality and low quality. And when we talk about low quality, guys, it's things like processed food, the yummy things that we shouldn't be eating all the time. But it's fine to have it every now and then. But if we have that high quality food, you're gonna feel feeling fuller for longer. You're gonna be fueling your body better, and then your body's gonna be recovering better. You're gonna be gaining more muscle mass, and you're gonna be shaping your body exactly the way that you want to do it, which is exactly what you're doing, Mel. But do you feel like were there any challenges along the way that you found?
Oh, 100%, 100%. Like anything in life, you go through challenges, whether it's work or kids or family. I work full time. I've got kids with big age gaps, so it brings different dynamics. I think the challenges are always trying to find that snippet of time. If we just have to exercise, even if it's just half an hour a day, that's a very small percent of your day. And it's your mental capacity to go, actually, I'm a better parent, I'm a better employee, I'm a better wife, whatever, dog mum, cat mum, if I look after myself, because I'm no good to anyone. If I'm feeling unenergetic, if I'm feeling ho-hum, if just feeling really blah, I'm not good to anyone. So I think one of the big challenges is prioritizing that and around whatever you've got going on. I think another big challenge, and it's still definitely something that I know will continue to be a challenge, and that's why I've committed to being in this program for a decent chunk of time. I feel like if I'd just done 3 months, I wouldn't have that really in-depth embedded accountability. So the challenge is still to not be looking at those scales. I think I'm 43, so maybe since my late teens, I've probably thought scales are a good measure of how well you're doing. So that's a lot of unlearning to do. So I was quite hesitant to have to take photos every week, but I am so pleased that you you get me if they're not there in that time frame.
Yeah.
Because I think that the challenge is that's a mental challenge to if you are conditioned to use scales. Even though you might be feeling great and your clothes are feeling great, it's something up there that society has said to us, you know, this certain weight is going to make you feel good. Well, it's just a not. But everybody, you know, everyone takes their own time to process that and to trust yourself that you don't need the scales to say a particular number to feel really good about yourself and to feel really confident. So yeah, the biggest challenge has probably been undoing some of those really embedded thoughts and processes for me.
Yeah. And that's why I always say like changes take time. And that's why I don't like challenges at all. Or I don't like when people do a program for like a month or 2 months, because like that's not enough time to undo those changes or like, you know, those habits that you have been building over the past 10, 20, 40, 50 years. Like it's not enough time. And that's why, yeah, now we're going to be working together for 1 year. It's going to be, 1 year if we put it all together. Which it sounds like a long time, but if you really think about it, it's not really too much. If you like put everything, like compare the 1 year compared to the 42 years of you doing something else, you know, this one is sort of weights heavier than the other one. And that's why having that accountability for longer, it's make a difference. And also again, those challenges, I'm so against them. Like I think like if you're a beginner and you want to try something, obviously go ahead. But if you're so consistent,
absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. So I won a Studio F45 challenge by losing a huge percent of body weight in one of the first challenges that we ran when the studio opened here. And I was all for it. And I'm really, you know, I was like, I can do this. I lost, I think, 6% body fat in the 6 weeks. Did I maintain that? Absolutely not. Absolutely did not maintain that. Yeah. So I know, you know, it's probably a really good, those challenges are really good maybe for someone who wants to kickstart or have some kind of momentum, but, you know, you're never going to maintain that level of loss without really embedding and understanding what you're eating, understanding what you're doing with your body. And, you know, I'm learning every day and I know I've got so much more to learn, but yeah, I've done those challenges.
Yeah.
I've done all sorts in 43 years. And this is the first time, and I say this with hand on my heart to anyone who might be listening, I guess, about, you know, is it worth investing? This is the first time, this is the first thing that I've done that I know I'm going to maintain this. I know my knowledge, my learning, my accountability. Yeah.
Yeah.
We go forward.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, because it's impossible to maintain that very low body fat percentage, especially for us women, for a very long period of time. You can maintain it, yes, for a week, maximum 2 weeks, maybe.
Yeah, so that was what I lost. That was what I lost, not what my body fat percentage
Ah,
was.
okay.
That's what I lost.
I was gonna say, what? That's way too low.
No. That was what I lost. Yeah, in that period of time. So I don't know how many kilos in that was, but that's what you could win on. So yeah.
But yeah, even that, like losing that much percentage, that's a lot. And to sustain that, it's a lot. Like if you wanna be just living out of chicken and rice or lettuce and tomatoes, yeah, you can do it. But is that gonna be fun? Is that gonna be enjoyable? Especially if you have kids, like how are you gonna be able to enjoy meals out with your kids or with your husband if you want to have a nice dinner out? It's just impossible. And then something else I like that you mentioned, it's the relationship that you have with the scale. And it's always going to be something that we're going to keep working on. It's going to take time to undo that and change that perception about the numbers are not going down. Like maybe I'm not making progress, but when we see the pictures, yes, you are making progress. So it's like, how can we change that? It just takes time. And the other thing that I really, really like that you mentioned is that now that you're feeling better about yourself and your body, how you're looking, how you're feeling, you feel like there's made a difference with how you are at work or, you know, with your relationship, with your kids. Tell us more about that. Like, how do you feel you're different now compared to 4 months? Or what's the main difference between now and 4 months ago with the relationships that you have with at work or with your family, with your kids?
Yeah, I guess work has been really stressful in the government world with all everyone knows about the public service cuts, and perhaps previously going through that kind of pressure and stress and trying to support people would have made me, you know, go sideways in regards to eating or not exercising. So I haven't needed to do that. I haven't even thought about doing that. I've had energy to be able to support other people. I've had a clear mind just to be able to look at the facts on paper and look at it with a little bit more of a positive lens. Yeah, in regards to the kids, I feel like I used to get to dinner time, get everyone sorted, all the rest of it, and then I'd just be like, oh my gosh, I'm so tired. And that's been really slowly changing, that in the evenings I'm like, oh, I've got a bit more energy, you know. I always wondered how people would go out and do this, that, and the other in the evenings, or, you know, yeah, I think that's a really big change. I'm sleeping heaps better, like holy heck. I haven't had this good a sleep since before I had kids. That's like 18 years ago. But yeah, really good sleep and really deep sleep. And waking up feeling rested is probably yeah, one of the big changes with energy levels.
Mm-hmm. And that's why fitness helps you so much with everything. People always just saying like, yeah, fitness is all about losing body fat or getting muscle mass, which it is, but it's not just about that. It changes and it helps you in many different areas of your life, you know, your personal life, at work, how you feel about yourself, your energy levels, your sleep. And that's one of the other reasons why I personally love fitness so much, because it does transform you head to toe, internally, externally. Like it changes everything. And I think everyone should be in a fitness journey, not with the only purpose of losing body fat, but just to be healthier, to be better for yourself, for your family, for your kids. And when was the moment that you realized that I'm actually making progress? Like I'm actually, you know, feeling good about myself. I'm actually looking the way I want to look. Like, was there like a specific time you were like, oh, actually, this is working?
Yeah, definitely. I know that one. Getting towards the end of the 4 months. So
Mm-hmm.
I could see little changes. And it was probably after about 3 months that my friends that we know, we would normally talk about this kind of stuff, not strangers, because that would be weird, but you know, friends were like, hey, you're looking really good. I'd be like, oh, whatever. And then yeah, I think it just the photo from the first week, 21st of January, till the end of the coming towards the 4 month mark was when I started to notice like, oh, I can actually see that. And that sounds really crazy because I've got photos from every single week that I'm sure show, you know, little increments and up and down of progress. But I think everything came together towards the end of that 4 month mark. So the photos started to be able to show some progress mentally. I was changing my way of thinking, like, okay, maybe this is working. Maybe I can see a difference. Yeah, and now I'm just I'm a little bit hungry for the progress now. So I'm like, okay, I can actually see that this chick actually knows what she's doing with me. This is good. This is, yeah, and this is sustainable. There's been no, you know, I haven't had to do anything drastic. I couldn't even tell you a day. I have never felt hungry, which is weird. But I honestly have never felt hungry. Probably the biggest struggle was not being able to eat everything, but I've got off on a bit of a tangent, sorry. But yeah, the probably coming towards the end of the 4 month mark, which sounds like a really long time, but I guess everybody's different. And yeah.
Yeah, because I remember, I think that's when you posted the picture in the group, like your before and after. Yeah. And that I think you were like, yeah, that was such a great message, like just to motivate everyone. Because you were like, you know, I'm 43, I'm making these changes. I like how I'm looking. And yeah, something I like about that post that shows that numbers, I mean age, just like the numbers on the scale is just a number. I feel like people that use their age as an excuse to be like, oh, but I'm too old to go to the gym, or like, I'm too old to do this. Like, you're just making excuses. Like, excuses obviously are easier to make than actually doing the work, which is going to the gym or like looking after yourself. And also, yeah, I think it's easier for someone else to see your progress. Because for me, I used to see your progress pretty much every single check-in. I'll be like, yeah, I can see, you know, you're losing body fat here or on your arms or whatever. You'll be like, yeah, maybe. You're like, yeah, but I'm not 100% happy. And I think maybe we can be a little bit hard on ourselves, like when it comes to ourselves. When we look at someone else, like, yeah, I can see it. But when it comes to you, like, not 100%. And that I think that also comes from previous years of maybe being too restrictive or seeing those changes in just 8 weeks, you know, that big, huge transformation. And maybe that's something that we also expect, that huge transformation. But when it's not huge, you're like, I'm not really making progress, but you actually are. And something else I want to say, it's like, you're not only making progress with the like physically with the pictures, but you're also making progress like in other areas, which is, you know, being consistent, maintaining this, which is the main thing. Because once you have this, it's been 4 months, and now that you're maintaining this, it's just gonna get easier and easier. Obviously, it's not always gonna be easy. There are gonna be times that you just gonna feel like it's so challenging, but it's gonna be easier to overcome that because now you have that mindset. Now you like change that switch up here, and you're like, yeah, I'm doing this for myself because I want to do it. And I know that you have a holiday coming up very, very soon, which I'm so excited about because you're gonna be wearing a bikini, and I know that's gonna happen. You're gonna be wearing a bikini for the first time in how long? Like 18 years or even longer? Yeah, 18 years, which is crazy. 18 years, and you're gonna wear that bikini again.
I wore a bikini when I was pregnant, and she's 18.
Mm-hmm.
I was tiny then, but yeah, we'll see about the bikini. Maybe some nice togs, but I'll hold you to it.
No, you wanna wear a bikini. 100%. Like if you look in this way now, I know that you will be wearing that bikini very soon. I think it's like 168 days or something like that for your holiday. But what part has my coaching play in your success in the past 4 months?
Oh, definitely straight off the biggest thing will be that accountability. So in the routine and the structure. So we check in on a Thursday, we do photos on a Friday morning. You can expect your feedback, personalized feedback on this day. We're going to make these changes. After 4 weeks, we're going to make these changes. So I think knowing that those things are going to happen from you has been like absolute game changer. I think we're incredibly powerful and knowledgeable on the calls. Often I don't get to the calls, but I will listen to them when I can concentrate, if I go for a walk or whatever, or if I'm driving, sometimes I'll listen to them then. And just the knowledge. So accountability and knowledge, I think, would be the two key learnings, I think, from you that I certainly needed. Desperately.
And you have it now. But yeah, that accountability does make a huge difference. And I think the knowledge as well. I think the difference, like with maybe other coaching programs, some coaches will just sell you the meal plan and the training program, but if you actually want that coaching, there's more about coaching than just a meal plan and training program.
100%.
Anyone can write your meal plan. Like I always tell people, like if you just want a meal plan, save yourself some money, go to Google, go to ChatGPT, put down your details, your age, your activity level, height, all of that, and then ChatGPT will give you a meal plan. If you want that, save yourself some money and just get that. But if you truly want to make a change and you truly want to get a coach that is going to coach you along the way and give you that accountability, then you need to invest that money. Because if you don't make that investment and you expect to pay $30 a month or whatever, $40 a month, and you expect to get everything, it doesn't work like that. I think that's something that it's slowly changing. I think people are being more aware that actually, this investment is worth it and it does make a difference. But yeah, it takes time. I think it takes time. It takes time. But what's something that you will say to someone like sitting on the fence of, wanting to get started with Fence Journey or joining my program?
Oh, I think the biggest excuse would be for people that they couldn't afford it. But if you work it out as a weekly cost and work out what you're spending that money on, that's not benefiting your health, your well-being, your wider family if you have one, or your future, it's pretty easy to find that money. And I think if you really, really want to make a change for your body and for your well-being that's sustainable, especially if you're 10 years younger, especially if you're feeling like you're needing to get that, get into it, get it done, I think. And I know times are tough financially, but I think the benefit totally outweighs finding that money. For people, I think, have the call. You were, I was actually quite nervous in the call. I was like, maybe she won't coach me. Like, she seems quite selective. Oh, wow. You were like, girl, if you don't commit, are you going to do this? Because we're not going to do this if you're not going to show up and turn up for yourself. And I'm like, oh, you're standing. That was right from the beginning call. But yeah, I think sit down. If you're on the fence, sit down with your personal finances, sort it out. What are your priorities right now? If you can't do it straight away, go, okay, I'm gonna get this money together for a month's time and set a meeting up with you. I mean, I've done coaching before, so I I've done all the things, I tell you. I
Yeah,
even admit to trying isogenics once upon a time.
really.
So, I've
Everything.
done that. I used a different online coach probably, and I probably much um careful not to identify, but yeah, I definitely just felt like a number.
Mm.
So it was definitely just a meal plan. You still had to check in, but if you didn't check in, no one was going to follow you up. There was no sort of accountability. So yeah, done that. So this recommendation, I guess, actually comes from a place of wanting people to feel as good as they can about themselves. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I wouldn't say it if I didn't mean it, because I wouldn't do that to people, especially if you're in a space where you really need that push and that support to get to that place of feeling good about yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. But I didn't know that you were feeling nervous on that call, that initial call that we
Oh,
had.
I was. And then you're right, we're doing this. Right, we're doing
Yeah,
this. And I'm like, we're doing this.
that's good to know. That's good to know. But
I was
yeah,
on holiday. There you go. People
yeah,
can
I
know that. I was
remember.
on
Yeah.
holiday and I was like contemplating life, and I was at the beach and I was like, oh, I just don't want to like go through another year and get to my next summer holiday and feeling really shitty about myself. I just want to feel really, really confident and comfortable. And that's what made me obviously gorgeous Juicy gave me the recommendation. And then yeah, I was like, I don't want to get to another holiday and feel shitty.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
made the call on holiday.
Exactly. No excuses. I remember you were enjoying your holiday because I remember it was so sunny and you were like, you had this really nice time. And I was like, you're on a holiday, but you didn't make that excuse. Because someone else would be like, I'm on a holiday. Let me enjoy my holiday and then we can have the call after that. But it's like, no, it's now never. It's one of those things like if you don't do it now, it's gonna be never because then you're gonna be like, yeah, next month or once I save that money. But like Mel say, like it's an investment, but if you truly wanna work it out because I can guarantee you're wasting money on takeaways. I can guarantee you're wasting money on gym clothes that you don't need, especially if you're not going to the gym. I can guarantee you're wasting money on nice Nike shoes or Adidas shoes or any shoes that you're buying. Again, you're not really using them too much. You just want to look pretty, which is great, but how are you feeling on the inside? How are you actually feeling about yourself? Because that's gonna
I
be the
think
main thing.
Yeah, and talking about the money thing, I think if people actually were really honest with themselves about what they're spending on lunches or grab
Coffee.
and go food or pop into the supermarket, um, it would really easily add up to a lot more than what you'd spend on the program and the food that you're going to eat on the program, because you're eating better food, you're getting nice and full. There's no need to pop into a cafe and spend $16 on a sandwich and a drink
Mm.
and maybe a cake because it looks good. You just don't need to. So those temptations are not there. Of course, you can still go out. It's easier to go out. And especially when you're armed with a whole lot more knowledge, you feel confident about it.
Yeah, and that's the thing that people don't understand. Like you end up saving more money doing this program than actually trying to do it on your own. Because if you look at your bank account, and I can guarantee everything that you're wasting on, no spending, all the money that you're wasting on your nails, your makeup, or things that you don't really need. Yes, you want, but you don't really need. Then you can put that money together and invest in a coach that you want to work with. Okay, it doesn't have to be me. Someone that you truly want to work with, someone that you can relate to, someone that you're gonna have that great connection, that relationship, and then invest that money and make it work. And obviously invest your time as well, put in the work. It's not just the work from the coach, it has to be also your work. I think I always say it's teamwork. It's 50-50. It's like a relationship. It's 50-50. It's not 100% from one side and then 20% from the other side. It has to be something that you guys do together, because that's how it's going to help you walk in that direction to help you reach those goals. But thank you so much, Mel, for being here. I really enjoyed talking to you and knowing a little bit more about your success story. But before we go, is there anything else you want to share? Anything else you want to tell everyone?
Not really. I'm just really genuine, and I just really hope that other people can get the opportunity, like you say, to work with any coach. But you're amazing, so work with you as a coach. And things are not going to go right from the beginning. So you're going to have, it takes a while to get into the swing. So even if it's like the first 2 weeks on the program, you're concentrating on your food prep and getting that sort of underway. What containers you're going to use? What does it look like? All that kind of stuff. And then get your training going. I think that's yeah, like I'll be honest, at the beginning with my training, I'd be like, okay, I'm not going to F45 today. I am going to City Fitness. So I got a cheap membership at City Fitness. And I'll be like driving into town and I'll be like, and I'd just go to F45 because I'm like, oh, I don't really know my way around City Fitness and da 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 da. And then I slowly just was like, right, you're going there today, and you've got all the videos on the app. The app's so easy, super easy to use, and you don't really have to think about much because there's even videos there. So yeah, anyone sitting on the fence, it's worth the investment in yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, you're doing this for yourself. And like Mel said, like this is going to help you in all the areas of your life, your relationship at work with your kids. It's going to give you more energy. It's going to save you money. And yeah, stop making excuses, guys. Like if you're watching this or if you're listening to this, I'm honestly, sometimes I'm just like, I'm so sick of people making excuses. Like if you truly want to change yourself in your body and your mind, change, like do something about this, because this fitness is going to help you with your success with your business. If you want to start a business or with your career or with anything that you're doing, like how you do one thing is how you do everything. And I say this over and over and over again. I probably sound like a broken record, but it's so true. Like how you do one thing is how you do everything. And if you're looking after yourself and your body and your mindset and just everything that's here, I can guarantee you're going to have more success in every single area of your life. But don't think too much about your fitness journey. Just get it started because time is going. It's already June. It's going to be Christmas very soon. And like,
Yeah.
how do you want to be looking in summertime? Like summertime, it's only about 6 months away or 5 months away. So don't wait too long. Don't wait for the perfect moment to get it started. But thank you so much once again, Mel, for being here. I really appreciate your time for sharing everything with us. And I hope you guys got a lot of value out of this because I'm sure you did. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to share it on your social media and tag me at Daniela Del Carpio. Until next time, and as I always say, don't ever stop believing in yourself. Ciao, ciao.